Grand Rising Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, shares, views, subscribes, comments, hypes, generous donations in all forms, everything. I appreciate it all. Let's ring the bell. Let's clear out this energy, and then we'll see what the message the Spirit has for us this morning. Grand Rising, J. Mike. Hey, the soul archetype. Either someone ghosted someone or they got ghosted by somebody. Either way, they are paying attention to what you said. No matter how long ago you said it, now they're paying attention because as they look closer, they're seeing that not only was this person karmic, but they didn't even care about themselves, let alone care about this other person. Bottom of the deck. This is somebody who, I feel like this is somebody who they would, smoke on the jaja, whatever, hey Shadia. And then after that, they would have this confidence about them to want to compete in all different types of ways or try and peer pressure somebody. And like I said, it was like they didn't really care about themselves. It's like they never explored getting that connection with self. They were so worried about how they looked. They felt like, as long as they looked a certain point, then nobody would really look at their objective of what they were actually trying to do, whether they had a dark side or not. They was just worried about how they looked. They didn't see that other people were looking at them and kind of figuring them out, or that you had peeped their game and figured them out already. That's why you didn't care for this person. That's why you kept this person at arm's length. That's why you was telling everybody, that's a bomb. What the fuck are you doing around a bomb? See, this is somebody who they never cared about going in the right direction of their own life. They felt like that was putting, they didn't feel like spirituality was real. This is somebody who didn't believe that God was real. They felt like they could control their own direction or they could control their own life or their own outcome. This is not somebody who thought that if I do right, then God will do right by me. This is not that person. And now somebody that you told that to, like I said, it's coming to their attention and they want to ask for your forgiveness because they know that whatever you said it due to love. You said it trying to help them. You weren't being vindictive. You weren't being evil. You weren't trying to gossip. You was trying to help them to help themselves. Now this person understands, and they want to change how they was thinking about what you had said. See, somebody else, they gave away a lot of things. They did. They gave away a lot of things to this ungrateful bum who didn't even care for themselves. Only to find out in the end that was a witch. And they had really dark characteristics. But this was somebody who, hey, Red Violet, because of their personality and because there was like a smooth talker, a slick Rick. They would have people doing more for them than what these people really felt comfortable doing. They had that, what you call, gift of gab. This is really somebody who was a wise guy. This is somebody that a lot of people had to survive from. A lot of people, when they cut that connection, they were like, oh my gosh, now I got to get myself back in check. Now I got to rebuild this or rebuild that. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Baby Yoda. Hey, Malcolm. This is somebody who, like I said, they didn't even believe in God. This is why it's like they made a promise, or they would promise people something, but yet what they were doing was delivering nothing but drama. That was it. Something about this person and their family, I feel like they were like somebody else in their family. Like whether it was a sibling or a parent or a grandparent, aunt, uncle. This was someone who looked at someone else who was that same bum material, had them same bum characteristics, and said, yep, I want to be just like that. And they did it to perfection. Perfection. They couldn't have been any more like this narcissist, like this user, like this abuser. I'm telling you something about the way that they communicated. If they had a relationship or any relationship, this was the type of person that would, tease you, get you riled up, say that bullshit to you to purposely piss you off, purposely make you want to jack slap somebody or pop them in their chops. This is that type of person that did that shit on purpose because they thought it was funny. That's how they got their kicks. This is somebody who, like I said, had very dark energy. But yet, when they came up against you and you wasn't willing to change for anybody, they thought that they had you because you was kind. They didn't know that you would leave them in a hot second. You would ghost them motherfuckers in a hot second. This is somebody who didn't realize that, you know what, you was on your path and you could spot a player a mile away. You could smell them as they was before they even came around the corner. Hey, SNK Pokey. But like I said, you was trying to lead somebody in the right direction. You were telling them the truth about this bum. But you saw that this person, they either didn't hear you, didn't want to hear you, or this bum had already got them thinking these negative thoughts about you. So you had to back off and do nothing because you knew that in time, they would see exactly what you was talking about. This is somebody had to finally get through to this person. And I feel like it was maybe either experience, a passed over loved one, an angel, somebody got through to this person and told them about, or led them in the right direction. Hey, the blue star, how are you? And whenever it's like they open up their eyes, finally. And when they finally opened up their eyes, they had to look at themselves in the mirror to see that they didn't even look the same. I feel like this person looked a lot different. They looked tired. Maybe they looked older. Maybe they looked haggard. But this person definitely did not look the same. Something about where this person was at in life, totally different than where they used to be. It's like they allowed somebody to drive them to drinking, drive them to drugs, drive them to some other type of addiction. Hey, the real Nova. Hey, Yolanda. But yet, this person was sitting here watching you, like watching you from afar. And one thing they noticed about you is that you never allowed that bum to change you. You didn't, and it was looking at you. You remained youthful looking. You remained vibrant. You remained happy. You never allowed that bum, even though you had experience with them, you never allowed them to change you. Hey, the Roman Zelensky. Somebody's feeling like they're going through a real hardship because they refused to listen to the message whenever you was telling them about the message. They understand that they're going through something that they could have bypassed if only they had listened. Hey, Carla. But this is somebody who thought that they had a certain privilege in life. Like, you know what? They would never do, this bum would never do that to me. Me? Me? Oh, no. They would never take advantage of me. They would never use me. They would never dog me. But now somebody had to realize how immature they were to think that shit. How somebody didn't have a problem playing in their energy because they felt like they could get over. This is somebody who caused a lot of conflict for this person in every area of life. Hey, Brenda. Every area of life. Home, job, friendships, relationships, even with themselves, how they felt about themselves. Today, this is what this person thinks about. This is what they notice. And they also notice that you're doing good, just shining bright like a diamond. Now this person understands your wisdom. Even though you're not there, they understand what you were trying to tell them. Now they are hip to the game. Hey, Lightworker William. See, like I said, this person didn't hear or didn't want to believe or felt like your backstory about this person would be different for them. But now they understand that backstory was giving them some important advice, something that they needed to listen to, something that they needed to see before the shit happened. Hey, Kent Sug, how are you, warrior? If they had listened, if they had taken your advice, if they had paid attention to what the fuck you was even saying, this person wouldn't even be going through this. Now it's like they got to think of ways to help themselves, to save themselves, to rebuild themselves, to preserve themselves. Hey, love plants, how are you? I feel like this person wants to visit you. They do. But they don't want you to feel like, they don't want you to say, I told you so. I told you so, and then disconnect. I told you, dumbass. I told you. They don't want to hear that. I don't feel like you would say that, even though that's what this person is expecting you to say. You still wouldn't say that, because everybody has to learn. Everyone has to learn a lesson in one way or another. Hey, Shamika, how are you? This person is watching you. They're observing you closely. And they, I feel like deep down inside, this person understands, or they feel confident that you would be hospitable to them. But yet at the same time, you would think of a creative way to tell them what to expect next. You wouldn't just say, you would just think of a nice creative way to kind of let them know what they can expect next. This is somebody who looks at you now as a teacher, as a guide, someone that they should have followed. Like I said, with you, they see that there's peace, and this is what you wanted for them. Peace away from that snake. Now they understand, and they believe in that North Node. They believe in God now. They believe in having to set your compass to go in the right direction. Their whole perception about that North Node, South Node, all of that, spirituality, God, the Most High, their whole perception of that is different now. Hey, K Hyphy. This person is aware of certain characteristics in people, but most of all, they're very aware in the part that they played, the role that they played, how they were too scared to stick up for themselves, to tell somebody no, because they felt like somebody had some type of hold over them, some secret power over them. See, the devil will sit there and listen to somebody, and they'll be like, oh, you don't believe in God? Oh, you feel like you rule your own life? Oh, you making your own oh, good. I got me a sucker, y'all. They realized they was just entertainment for somebody to play with. The devil to have their little fingers all in their head, all in their energy, twisting and turning. They had control over their whole life, and then they was bringing it down, and they was doing it so smooth. And they didn't notice that this was missing, that was missing. Now they no longer had this, they no longer had that. They didn't realize that everything was going down the drain until it was down. Now they understand that they was just a puppet on a string. They felt like they didn't have any control over their own life. But what they noticed most about you is you always had control over your life. You're receiving good karma. You're receiving justice. And you didn't do anything. You sat back and you watched somebody destroy their own life. This person remembers when you were there. You've been there for forever, ever since they was young. Or you could be like, I'm looking at this like could have been somebody's mother, somebody's parent. And they're remembering this now. How much love, how much attention, how much support you gave to them. They know that they should have came home. They should have been with you. They should have honored you. They should have protected you. They should have had some respect in everything that you provided to them, because what you provided is not in them streets. Now this person, I feel like they're feeling a certain way because throughout all of this, no matter how bad they treated you, you were always the innocent one. And you was the one that worked the hardest for them. Like I said, either they ghosted someone or they got ghosted by someone. You know, after the devil said, well, I can't get nothing else out of this fool. Let me go on to the next. Now I feel like somebody, they feel like, you know, they wish that they could be invisible, but I feel like this person feels that a whole lot of people are looking at them, wondering what happened, wondering how they didn't see this. Why didn't they protect themselves? You know, how did they allow themselves to get off the right track and get on the wrong track because of some devil? How they stopped their whole, you know, trajectory of going upward and allowed this hardship to come in. And now, like, how they ended such a wonderful, you know, life, and now everything that, like, this person is living in the fucking gutter. And it's because they allowed somebody else to control their every move. See, this person is somebody who used to call you a loose cannon. If somebody was trying to talk you into something or control something or say something, you was the one that was like, oh no, motherfucker, I know the fuck you didn't, da 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 da, whatever. They called you the loose cannon. But now they understand you was not a loose cannon at all. You was just standing in your power. You was letting somebody know you don't control me or anything. Get your little demonic way out of my house, out of my life. Get away from me. What's the message? Somebody, you know, this person sat there and was pegging you as the shit disturber, as the one who nobody wanted to be around. Yeah, nobody wanted to be around you because you was always speaking the truth. You was always standing up for you and yours, and you was not going to be bullied. That's why nobody wanted to be around you, because you did not allow yourself to be some pawn. Easily manipulated. Ain't nobody playing in your energy. See, they see things differently now. Now that you're still doing good, and they used to be doing good when they was with you, but now they doing some other shit. You don't know what the fuck they doing now. This is why this person is afraid to approach you. They want to come to you, but like I said, they expect you to be like, I told you, dumbass. You wouldn't even do that. Because you know at some point, people don't deserve to be put down when they're going through it. But at the same time, you would tell somebody, okay, this is what you need to expect next. And the only reason you would tell them that is because been there, done that, got the t-shirt on. Why wouldn't you want this person to succeed? Why wouldn't you want this person to move ahead? Especially if you've known this, like I said, if this is a parent-child situation, especially if you are that parent, you want this child to do better than you, not worse than you. Hey, 231 page home. See, you know, people, young people, whenever they grow up, they think they know it all, only to find out through life of hard knocks and being on the street, they don't know a damn thing. They don't know a damn thing. This person went in willingly, didn't even think about some shit that could happen. They was like, oh, no, you don't know. This was you. This is not going to be me. Yeah, but now they thinking about that love. They thinking about home. They thinking about how good they had it. They thinking about how you was not that bad person. They thinking about actually how nice you were, how kind you were, how hospitable you were, even to those people that treated you rude. You still didn't fight fire with fire. They're thinking about this now. This person is trying to think of a way to change locations, to try and move. They're trying to think of a way, and they're trying to remember how you did it, how you got away. Because they remember when you was the one that was your feet that was in the fire. Now they're trying to figure out how you did it, what you did, because they know that you very intelligent. How you ghosted somebody, or how you responded after being ghosted by somebody. Now they want to talk to you about the whole backstory. They want to find out about you. Now they want to hear it. Now, like I said, they want to come talk to you now. Now they want to actually listen, which is what they should have done a long time ago. But we're not going to go there, because them streets ain't kind of nobody. It's them same streets that they couldn't wait to get out there that they trying to scramble to get away from right now. Them same streets. When you try to tell them streets ain't your friend, baby. Them streets ain't got shit for you. They was like, oh, you don't tell me. I know how to handle the streets. I was this and all that. So I should go lay down somewhere. Go lay down somewhere. What's the message of spirit? See, somebody, they thought that they were smarter than you, only to find out they forgot about something. That as many years, as many days that they spent in them books, reading, writing, arithmetic, science, all this other shit, you know, they spent a lot of hours in them books. They're probably even maybe a little bit taller than you. And they thought, oh, look at how tall I am. And, you know, and I got all straight A's. But you know what they forgot? About life experience. They forgot about the other shit that they couldn't see, spirituality. They didn't know about the devil like you knew about the devil. They didn't know about how people will play games. They didn't know about the player. Just because it looked like they got something don't mean that they got anything. You don't know how somebody got what they got. Did they hurt somebody else to get it? Did they steal it? They don't know. All they saw was something flashy, something that looked like it was gold. And they had the nerve to look down on you. They ain't looking down on you no more. They're trying to figure out how they can hold you up. What's the master spirit? Anything else in this deck? Anything else? Yeah. See, somebody wasn't paying attention. Confirmation to whenever you said pay attention. Hey, Letitia. You told them about the devil, but they was expecting a pitchfork, some long horns, and a tail. No. It could have been somebody in the family. They wasn't expecting that. They thought that, oh, this entire family loves me. Look at what they're saying. Look how much they're making such a fuss over me, but they don't make a fuss over that one. Well, guess what? Because they feel like you was a fucking fool. They fussing over you and secretly fighting to see who gonna win out the game of getting to use. They're trying to figure out who get to dog walk you. That's what they're trying to figure out. Oh, this is great. No. Who gets to steal this soul? What's the message, Spirit? Anything else? Yeah. That's why you said, oh, okay. That's what you want to do? All right. Okay. They said, that you said they'll get the message pretty soon. When they start losing all their things, they'll get the message. They'll understand what you was talking about. Yeah. See, now somebody understand that, you know what, maybe they was the marked target. Maybe they was the one who somebody, like I said, they was fighting over to see whose soul, now they understand that maybe they was being pruned or primed as a scapegoat. Who knows? Hey, Patrick, how are you? Thank you so very much, Shadia. How are you? Thank you so very much. Let's get a different deck. Yeah, because see, now somebody realized that there is dark energy out there. And whoever they was hanging around, that dark priestess, that was the one who was starting the shit. That was the shit starter, shit disturber. That was the shitty bitty. And they tried to make it seem like it was you. When you left, when you was no longer around, they was still causing shit. See, everybody had to realize who the dark priestess was, and it wasn't you. The dark priestess said it was you to try and take the focus off of them. But when you left and you allowed everybody to do what the fuck they gonna do, and they saw that shit still was happening, that's like when they said, oh, what? Maybe it's not collective. Damn. Who could it be? That's when they started looking around. That's when they started paying attention. That's when everybody started hiding their jewelry and shit. Bottom of the deck. Because they knew somebody was coming in to attack them. And somebody felt like they was under attack. Like I said, this is somebody who wants to apologize. This is somebody who wants to let you know that, you know what, you was right. They should have listened to you. They was being young, immature. They should have took this advice that you was trying to give to them. But see, they thought they knew better, only to find out that what they planned to do, where they planned to go in them streets, they went straight to the devil. Couldn't have got any straighter of a shot. The devil said, oh, come on. I got you now, sucker. I got you, sucker. Now somebody want to go the other way. Now they want to go to calmer waters. Now they want to ask for forgiveness. But see, they was so focused on them streets, so focused on what everybody else had to say, so focused on this, so focused on that they forgot to focus on who invested in them. They forgot to focus on that shit. Now they sitting here all heartbroken, depressed, sad, looking stressed, looking old. looking like they done got ran over and backed up and ran back over and then got backed up again, by a fucking school bus. Because them streets taught them something with that same motherfucking school bus. Now this person had to go within and they had to look at themselves. They had to think about a whole lot of things. And then they had to remember everybody ain't your friend. Just because they pumping you up don't mean that they mean that shit. Somebody had to remember about this whole relationship, this whole, like the parent, this is a parent child, had to remember about who was actually there, who was actually telling them the right way to go, who was actually there doing the work, helping them to succeed, who was actually committed to them. They had to think about that shit. They forgot all of that shit. For them to wake the fuck up and then realize that somebody had these secret plans to try and curse their own fucking life. Because that's what it was. They cursed their life. All because they was too smart. They thought they was just so intelligent. I got the game and I'm going with it. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me. You don't know like I know. They don't like you, but they like me. No, motherfucker. They don't like me because I'm not kissing their ass. Now you coming out there with your lips like trying to kiss their ass. They like, oh yeah, hold up. You done missed the spot. Get it over here too. See, now somebody is waking the fuck up because everything is crumbling and anything and everything that they thought they had is over. The whole facade is over. All their stability is over. Everything that they worked so hard for is over. Hey, Amber. Boy, don't somebody miss you. Don't somebody miss you. And the love and the attention that you gave to them, how secure you made them feel, how you pumped them up, how you had them going in the right direction, how you gently guided them, how you told them you don't want to do that. And that when they used to listen, when they used to be able to hear you, but now they out in the cold, could be homeless. If only they had heard you when you was telling them about this information. If only they had taken this advice. If only they had taken this as a gift, as wisdom, as you had been there and done that and survived the bullshit, and you don't want them to have to go through that. But instead, they couldn't see nothing. They couldn't hear nothing. All they could hear was the traffic from the streets. Hola, Marcia. Oh, Lightworker William, thank you so very much. Thank you. I really do appreciate you so very much. All they could do was hear the streets. That was it. Hold on, let me let this little girl outside. Go, Sasha, go. Damn, I need Christmas. Go. 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 Lord. We're not doing all that. Get out. Get out. Outside now. Get outside. Thank you. I don't know what this girl was on. What's she tripping on? whatever it is, I'm not trying to be a part of it. Yep, they couldn't hear nothing except the horns from the streets, the car horns and all that other bullshit. You know, they couldn't hear the truth that you was telling them, the knowledge, the fact that you had been there, done that, the fact that you had told them, the fact that you knew, that you experienced it, that part. And they say that experience is the best teacher. Hey, Latasha. They say that experience is the best teacher, but that part, they didn't hear that either. Now they're wondering why they didn't listen to you, why they didn't see you as the Empress, why they didn't understand that you have been through a whole lot in order for you to even get to this status as the Empress. Now they want to be healed, you know, and they understand that the only reason that these people was hating on you is because either you a healer or you got that star energy or whatever. And it hurts them, and they can't get it past. They can't sleep at night sitting here thinking about how they treated you, what they said to you, all that stuff. You know, it's like somebody that they thought had a lot. They thought this person was self-made. You know, like they was walking around with all the money and gold and the jewelry and everything else, only to find out this person didn't have anything. Really? It was robbing Paul to pay Peter and then trying to steal from somebody else. A pickpocket at that. What they call the smooth operator, and wasn't so damn smooth. Now somebody see why, and they understand why. You was like, oh, miss me with that. I'd rather be on my own. I'm good. Now they get it. And they looking back at you. They looking at you, and they see that you don't need nothing from that motherfucker. You got all 10 cups right here. You know, you got 9 cups for yourself, and God is blessing you with that 10th cup. So whether, you know, somebody tried to make it seem like maybe you're single, you know, and they was trying to make it seem like, well, because you wasn't in no committed relationship, you wasn't happy. Bullshit. Happier because without that fucking committed relationship, especially if you committed to a narcissist, a thief, a beggar, a bum, you know, who want to be committed to that? Nobody. Absolutely, positively, not one damn person. You fought for your 10 of Pentacles. And that's why you got it. You got yours out the mud by your damn self. You wasn't sitting here trying to play these games and be like, well, let me see who I can get with. Who gonna be my next baby daddy? Who gonna do this for me? Who gonna do that for me? Well, you want to be with me? You want some of this? I need my electric bill paid. I got a water bill. I got some car insurance. I got some house home taxes. I got this. I got that. That wasn't you. You was like, no, I don't need it. If you think I'm going to do all that shit, I don't need it. You can keep it. I can get my own. See, somebody, they was expecting you to come back to them. They was expecting you to reach out to them to be like, are you okay, sugar? Honey, sweetie, are you what do you need me? You know I'm here if you need me. You know this, you know that. But see, they didn't expect it when you said, okay, you go and do that your cutoff game was going to be strong. And it's not even that you cut yourself off. It's just that you had enough confidence and respect in yourself to allow that person to go out there and experience all the life that they could possibly handle. If they love the streets, have at it. They'll figure it out that the streets don't love them back. Now this person understands what you was talking about. Now they realize the blessing that this relationship is, and how important it is to have somebody who's in your corner, standing 10 toes down for you, that you ain't even got to sit here and think, are they staying 10 toes down for me or not? Hey, Ayana. There's no guessing games with you. None. And there's no guessing games with that other person either. That opportunistic bum. They know exactly how that person is coming towards you and coming towards them. They know what that person got for them. They met them they went out, and as soon as they left you, they was like, I'm free, I'm in the streets with you. That's when the devil said, oh, come here, I got something for you. And they thought that they was putting you on hold. They thought that they was punishing you. They thought that they was giving you some time to look at things differently. We already know the truth. The truth don't change. The truth don't change. That's why you remained by yourself. That's why you separated yourself. That's why you said, I'd rather do this shit alone than to do it with some old crazy lunatic bum motherfucker. Yeah. They see now that you knew that there was a whole lot of shit out there that this person didn't know about, but you said, let me step to the side. Let me protect myself, because I don't want this person's karma to come back on me, because I'm trying to help them. Yeah. And so all them games, all that magic, all those tricks that somebody thought that they was gonna, that somebody could do, they found out that they was being done on them. Where they used to be at the top of the wheel, and they now trick themselves out the spot. They at the bottom of the wheel. Now they have to work on themselves. They got to get it out the mud, just like you got it out the mud. Now somebody wishes that they would have worked with you and told you what was going on. Told you about everything that was being said. Because then they would be in a much better spot. But instead, they wanted to give that cup of love to somebody who didn't care about them, who just wanted whatever they could get from them. Hey, Create. Oh, I'm telling you, that discernment, that sort of truth, that looking at shit realistically, that's a motherfucker whenever it comes to having to face judgment and justice. That's a motherfucker right there. Somebody realized it's time for them to walk away, run away, fly away, drive away. It's time for them to leave this conflict. And apparently there's something that they didn't see too. Something that they weren't realizing. They was dealing with a whole warlock. A whole warlock. So they didn't see this person as they truly were. They wasn't looking at somebody like they really should have been looked at. A whole fucking warlock. Somebody gave them some great advice. Get in your vehicle and leave today. Somebody told them, leave all that shit behind. Forget about, somebody was worrying about, well, everything that I was working on and da-da-da-da-da. Somebody had said, you know what, you ain't getting shit. You're going to end up with less than what you already have sitting around waiting on somebody. They said, leave all of that. Don't worry about it. Just go. Somebody's finally listening to, whether it's an earth angel, whether it's a passed over loved one, somebody is finally learning the lesson. And they changing locations, they moving, they doing something, they letting all that bullshit go. Because in the big scheme of things, the things that you can touch, you can always get back. But that sanity, that confidence, the heart, your health, oh, it's really hard to get that back. Once it's gone, it's gone. Love, oh, don't take that shit for granted ever. Once that shit is gone, it's gone. Somebody's having a whole new rebirth, especially after all of this deceit, all of this backstabbing, all of these curses that somebody doesn't realize that they were a victim of. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Like I said, they was expecting you to come in, but now they know it's not happening. You strong. You too strong. You too strong for some bullshit. You know where you stand. You know who you are. And you also know that person has to wake up. They got to see the forest through the trees. They have to want to drop down and stop this bullshit. If they don't hear nothing, they don't see nothing. They got to do that. Not you. Hey, Toy, still standing. How are you? What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? You ain't going and you're not even going to sit here. They have to learn that it's time for them to grow up. And for them to grow up, that means they're going to have to reach out to you and say, hey, I've grown up. I learned my lesson. I that. I understand now. This and that and the other. It's not about you. Did you learn anything? No, fuck all that. They got to let those testicles drop. It's not for you to sit here and handhold no damn more. Hand-holding days is over. They have to realize they got themselves in this mess. They're here because of them, not because of you. They allowed themselves to be tricked. You wasn't trying to trick nothing. You was telling them the truth. They allowed themselves to be right here where they put themselves. They got to take responsibility for falling for the okie doke, especially from somebody who was thinking that, oh, I could trick this person. I'll make it seem like I did. They just sat there and told them a convenient little lie. Oh, I got this. Only to find out that motherfucker didn't have shit and was robbing Paul to pay Peter. And more importantly, they had to realize they was robbing, thieving, stealing, five-finger discounting, frauding, all that shit. They had to realize they was being manipulated by a whole warlock. That's what they had to realize. They was being mind fucked. What else, Spirit? So I don't know if they was hanging around one of them damn red pill boys, because they ain't a man, they boys. Oh, the reason that my life is like this is because she this and she that. No, look at yourself. If women can't sit here and blame men for the reason that their life is like that, then men can't blame women either. You got to grow the fuck up. Hey, Judah, how are you? You know, you have to take responsibility. And everybody has to take responsibility for themselves. You know, it's not one person. You know, nobody did this. You did it. What's the message, Spirit? Thank you. Somebody got to look at the way that they've been for a long time and how somebody else that they chose to follow has been for a long time. A backstabber. That's who they chose to follow. A backstabber. Somebody was trying to curse somebody else. Somebody that was trying to curse you. Anything else? Yep. You already have everything that you need. You good. You good. Now it's time for somebody to take the advice of somebody who's respected and move away from this warlock. Move away from this warlock. And that's the truth. Time for somebody to plan a whole new life. Plan for them to be awake, like they say, woke folk, and aware. Time for them to give you your flowers and understand that you was giving them the best advice, that you was coming compassionate, loving, caring, kind, and you wasn't playing no motherfucking games. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and swing the pendulum. And then I'm getting ready to jump on this work computer, do my straight 8. I'll be back this evening. All right. Think of your question, y'all. Think of your question. Think of your question. And let's see which way the pendulum swings. Looks like it's swinging a yes. Looks like it's a yes. All right. Thank you so very much. Lightworker William, thank you so very much for that generous donation. I do appreciate you so much. I appreciate everyone. All right, y'all. I love you all. And I'll see you this evening. Great Thursday.